What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Polkadot as it's actually started to rise back up again. Now we talked about it in the previous video, which was roughly 1 day ago, and we were talking about accumulating possibly at this white level. Now we did dip slightly below the white level, however that is just part of the accumulation phase, and now it's actually starting to slightly increase. We're still obviously at that level, so if you did miss that first entry point, then you can enter in again now. And yeah, it's actually starting to look really good. The main thing we're really causing this is obviously Bitcoin, and Bitcoin yesterday went into its accumulation sort of period right here into the white box, and now it's since pumped up roughly 2.5%. The S&P is down 1%, so Bitcoin is actually finally inversing the S&P, as the S&P is slightly slowing down, gearing up towards Donald Trump coming into office. Now Polkadot and a lot of other altcoins are slightly lagging behind. However, Bitcoin dominance is still consolidating here, just waiting for that capitulation phase to begin. We are in this, if we go into like a weekly time frame, you will see it is starting to slow down. This might be the first time in many years that Bitcoin dominance has finally topped out. We've not really had a top for the better part of 2, 3, maybe even 4 years since 2021, where we've seen a good downtrend on Bitcoin dominance occur. And until that really occurs, it's really hard to say that we're in a bull market, because without Bitcoin dominance dropping, altcoins aren't really able to thrive and go into their bull market phase. And the way a bull market works is we have cycles. So there's the Bitcoin cycle, then there's the Ethereum cycle, then there's the altcoin cycle, meme coin cycle, and then we go into the bear market. So this was the entire bear market, and now we've finally gotten a lower low right here, a lower high, sorry, from this high. And as long as we're able to break this low right here with the continuational candles like this, then we've essentially entered a downtrend, and this has been the top for Bitcoin dominance. So it still marks a good entry point for a lot of altcoins, because they've not moved that significantly. Like if we compare this to, for example, the previous bull run, we're still at the very early stages. Like obviously the previous bull run was much shorter, and it was sort of just like a straight line up, whereas this bull run is slightly different. And the main reason for that is we now have institutional investors coming in from ETFs. It's a lot more political. Politics are affecting cryptocurrency a lot more than they were in 2021. We have actual presidents endorsing crypto now, which is President Donald Trump, which previously it was sort of frowned upon. So crypto is becoming a lot more mainstream, and that is obviously causing the price action to act slightly differently. When a lot more people are trading something, it will eventually sort of distill out and become something similar to like the S&P, where eventually there won't be these sort of phases, and it will just be a very slow and steady line up. But until then, we still have Bitcoin halvings, which essentially marks the start of a bull run, and that's what we're going off this year. Now going back to Polkadot and off the tangent there, yeah, Polkadot is looking like a good accumulation right now. Obviously previously we were accumulating in this green box right here, which if you didn't do so, it's probably because you weren't in the Discord down below or watching any of the previous videos. And if you weren't able to accumulate here, then I'd highly recommend you join the Discord down below in the description, because there we're sending out daily trades, spot trades, futures trades, and everything like that. So make sure you join down below. It's me and my team, and we have a 90% win rate in 2024, and that's not slowing down at all in 2025. So make sure you join up. Now Polkadot, again, if you're looking for a futures trade, I'd really only recommend doing a lower time frame, entry. And the thing I always tell my members is to find a higher time frame narrative with a lower time frame entry. So higher time frame narrative right here, whilst Bitcoin is looking quite bullish, we're on a support level right here for Polkadot, so I'm leaning more towards the bullish side. However, we are still in this sort of downtrend, and it is quite risky entering on reversal, so your stop loss has to be quite tight. So for a lower time frame entry, you'd probably go down into the 15-minute, maybe 1 hour, find some sort of like, for example, fair value gap like here, and then wait until we come down into this fair value gap, place your entries, and then ride the trade essentially up onto a higher time frame, probably target, with your stops quite tight as well, and maybe even add a trailing stop loss, so you are guaranteed profits once the trade is actually running. Now for the longer term, what I'm really looking for is way above. We're not really targeting any highs that we hit this year, or in 2024 I should say, of like $11-12. I think this was very minimal and not really courteous of what Polkadot can actually do. And the entire crypto market, like for example, if we check Fetch, you know, it hit $3.48 in 2024. That's not the peak of the bull run, because Bitcoin, if we, you know, correlated times, this was during March. So March 23rd, it peaked at $3.49, and Bitcoin peaked on March, you know, slightly earlier at 74,000. Since, it's climbed like 50% up. Fetch has dropped like 50%, which is really, really interesting to see. And a lot of all the altcoins are the exact same. API 3 here, Render, you know, XRP is the outlier, Sui is another outlier, and Polkadot is not an outlier. Also AVAX, not an outlier. So lots of underlying coins. Solana again is another coin that dropped significantly from, oh no, apologies, Solana didn't, because I was confused with this. But yeah, you know, Solana is practically back at its March all-time high. So a lot of coins that were previously really, really strong in the 21 bull market are now slightly weaker, which could just mean that they're lagging behind. But again, even if you enter, you know, here at $6.70 and you just target the highs of 2024, which are very, very attainable, then you're already hitting, you know, 80% profit. And I think it's quite good, unless you want to, you know, try and enter slightly more riskier newer coins like Sui, for example. You know, you can target much higher highs, which we've talked about in a previous video on Sui as well, which you can check out. But yeah, it really depends on your strategy and what you want to do. If you want to target, you know, slightly lower risk returns, then easily just go for the 80% on Polkadot and call it a day, you know, right from this market entry point. And if we do continue dropping, then a dollar cost average on entry would be $5.40. However, I don't really see us dropping that much further. Obviously, Bitcoin has this slight potential to hit a wick down to this level right here, but I think it'll be a very quick wick, and obviously that will cause a huge disruption in the altcoin market. So we could potentially see a quick wick, and then obviously we bounce back. So if you want to set some limit orders, I wouldn't really be opposed to that if you have the spare capital as well, because when you set a limit order, you're obviously locking up your funds until that order is hit or until you cancel that order. So if you have the capital for that, then, you know, of course, go for it. There's no risk in doing so unless there's a better opportunity, but then you can just cancel that limit order and you know, put that capital elsewhere. Other coins I'm keeping an eye out for this week are going to be Fetch. You know, it's at this decent support level right here. My ultimate support is at roughly $1 with this yellow box, but again, it doesn't really look like we're going to be able to hit that, as it's really, really strong at this level. Other coins, Render is another really strong coin, and Sui is, you know, one of the strongest altcoins, if not the strongest altcoin that I've seen in 2024 and still in 2025. When the entire market was crashing, it obviously crashed slightly, but this is the coin that is recovering the most. It's already nearly back at its all-time high. Other coins like Phantom that are recovering quite well are nowhere near. It had a huge tumble, and it's, you know, only up 7% today, which is not that significant. Oh, I just removed Sui, but yeah, it's not that significant. And whereas Sui is right back at its all-time high nearly. So yeah, it's one of the best performing coins, and that's what I'm going to be really keeping an eye out for. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Again, if you want to be getting trades sent to you every single day that you can copy and paste into your exchange, then check out the Discord down below. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrency for the lowest fees and the best sign-up rewards, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.